So hello everybody, in version 16 of ConvertWithMoss I added support for the Akai S5000 and S6000 series, which use the AKP and AKM file format, and I was under the wrong impression that these were the last samplers that Akai ever did, but luckily someone of the viewers corrected me that they also did the Akai Z4 and Z8 samplers, and they have a bit smaller form factor. So the Z4 was 2 8 units and the ZA had also 2 8 units, but it still had the detachable display and a user interface which you could detach from the sampler and put on your desk for working with the device. And I could not resist to look into these samplers as well, and luckily they use the same format as the S5000 and S6000, so also the AKP and AKM formats. They had some slight changes, so I had to make some adaptations to make it work, but nevertheless now it's working. And there's also another device which uses that format, which is the MPC4000, and there are interestingly 2 editions, one white with some blue touch and a fully blue model as well, and they also use the AKP format. I found several AKP files on the internet which I was sure that they are for Z4, but I'm not sure if I have one which was from the MPC4000. So if you have issues with that, tell me down in the comments, or even better, if you have a file which you are sure which was created on this model, please send it to me for testing. So thanks for that. Yeah, and I renamed that since this is not only now for the S5000, S6000 series, but it's now generic for more devices. So it's now only named AKP AKM as a source file. And what I did with that is also to log on which device these files were created. So if you select now some AKP files from the old models and run that, it will tell you that they were created on the S5000, S6000, same here. And if it's a specific file for the Z4, Z8, it will also tell you that it detected such a format. So much for that old stuff, but there is also some new stuff. We already had MPC key groups from the newest models for quite some time. Also now the support for version 3, where you have 8 layers, and also you can write this MPC format with 4 or 8 layers for the latest firmware releases. But I added now also the support for the new version 3 formats for project and tracks, which was requested by several people. And these are these file endings XTY for a track and XPJ for a full project. Both are JSON files which are zipped with a zip tool and is then called with that ending, and we can do that. So let's try some track files. Let's convert them to SFZ, the output folder, and here we go. And you will see that this is now possible, and it will also tell you on which platform they have been created. For example, if it says Linux, it had been created on the MPC itself, but you can also use the software-only version, and then it will also tell you it was written on Windows, and will also tell you the exact version of the software with which it was created. And same for project. Project is basically the same format, but with several tracks instead of only one. And let's do it with that. So in that project, I created a test project which contains multiple tracks, but 2 tracks or even 3 contain multi-samples, so key groups, but the 3rd track is empty. And let's give that a shot to convert that also to SFZ. You will see those 2 will convert to an output, and the last one is simply empty and will be skipped. So here we have all the created output files from the tracks and from the project, and these are the 2 from the project files. Currently, I did not implement writing this format, which might be interesting to convert over full setup. So the project version, especially, I don't see the point of creating these track files, because you can achieve the same with the normal XPM files, so the key group files. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Do you need project writing support? It's a bit of work, but I might be tempted to look into that as well. And yeah, lots of Akai love this time. And until next time, make some funky music.